these grouped together here is what I'm going to be using for to make more things. So I crush them myself, yeah. And crushing them in its own sense is some type of clarity, because you're releasing all those vibrations and that energy that's trapped in it from like the store and everything.
Oh.
Yeah. And these down here are like our main tools we use. So pestle and mortar to make powders. And then this is a little cauldron that I use to use that to like burn different things in it. That could be incense, it could be like a note or anything in there. This is actually a wand. You use that for casting circles for rituals and stuff. So I used to have a little crystal in here.
Did you make the wand?
Yeah, I made it, and I burned in some rune symbols that are what I would like for the meaning of this. So joy and protection and all that. Yeah.
And so, and then you have tarot cards. Do you read the tarot cards?
Yeah, I do tarot readings. I've been doing it for a while. When I was in high school, I did it in high school for a long time. And people would come up to me in the cafeteria and ask for a reading. And some people will come up to me like every day. And that's really exhausting because you're actually putting energy into this. And it's just hard to keep that up. So I do tarot reading and crystal ball readings, which are pretty accurate. I can do a reading for you if you want.
Cool, that'd be cool. So can you explain like the animal bones to me? Because a lot of people connect being Wiccan as witchcraft and paganism and Satanism. Is there a difference in those type of things? And do we use these animal bones for anything?
Some of us like having animal bones around. Just one, because it's just interesting, just different. And if you're a witch, you're usually a different type of person. But it reminds us of death, and that's not a bad thing. Everybody thinks it's such a bad thing to be reminded of death, but you just got to remember that's a part of life.
I always think of death as a renewal of something else. Like in the fall, whenever the leaves and stuff die, that's just to renew and get ready for the renewal of spring.
That's exactly what we celebrate, like our holidays and stuff. We have 8. We call them Sabbaths. And each one represents a different stage of like the relationship between the sun and the moon. Like the sun dying out when it gets over to towards winter. That's what Yule is, and it's placed around Christmas. So Yule is the 23rd of December, and it's celebrating the newer days to come, the brighter days to come. And ways you celebrate it is to put up like a Yule tree or a Christmas tree, a pine tree, because it shows that there is life even in the coldest and darkest nights. But back to the difference between like witchcraft and paganism and all that. Wicca is a religion itself, where there's many different gods and many different goddesses, and we don't like to say that we worship them, but we have a relationship with them. Like mine is Freya and Freyja, and it's not a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of us, but me personally, there are like pictures and stuff of them of what they would look like, but they're more of just energy. Like you feel feminine energy. You can feel that, like anybody can feel that. And then there's masculine energy.
Yeah.
And we just call that the god and the goddess. And yeah, that's basically my beliefs within Wicca. Paganism is just any nature-based religion. It doesn't have to be Wiccan. And there's different types of Wiccans and different types of witches. Like, you're probably never going to get the same answer from two people. But paganism is just a nature-based religion, Wicca is a pagan religion, but so can be like Satanism or whatever, and anything that revolves around nature is pagan. Pagan was the term that Christians used back in the day as like a slur towards anybody who wasn't Christian. They call them pagans. Yeah. And then they embraced that. Within the Wiccan community, we believe we have like this law. We don't have any written text that we follow, but the majority of us follow a law that says harm none and do what you will. So don't like hex and curse people. That would be black magic. And if you do, it's the threefold law.
Yeah.
Whatever you give out comes back either 3 times as bad, or some people think it's affects the 3 elements, physical, emotional, or spiritual. So it'll attack any of those 3 and come back on you. Karma. So that's another thing. Some people think if you're a witch, then you're a female, and the males are like warlocks or whatever. The word warlock actually means oath breaker, so it's offensive. It means oath breaker or coven, basically a traitor. So if you meet a witch, don't call them a warlock.
So there's male witches. It's not actually a warlock. And what are these?
These here?
Uh-huh.
It's the elements. So back in the day, they only thought there were 4 elements: earth, air, water, and fire. So that's what they used for a long time. And then the periodic table came out. But this is what we focus on, is earth, air, water, and fire. And we use the elements mixed with herbs and crystals and everything. Each has its own intention, and when you put all those together, basically what a spell is, you want something with intent. You're trying to create something to happen in your will. And we don't mess with anybody else's like free will. So if you want somebody to love you, you don't cast a spell on them, at least without them knowing. If they know, then it's okay. If they say it's okay. But what you can do is do like a spell to make yourself seem more attractive, more appealing to people, and then the right types of people will gravitate towards you. We believe everything is connected. Everything is like from nature, so it's all connected like a spider web. And when we practice with crystals and herbs, we're like tugging on those strings to make what we want to happen into reality. And we speak of it before it happens as if it's already happened and it's already in our reality. And it usually ends up that way. Spells can fail and they can backfire, and it's like, when you think of backfire, you think of something just blowing up in your face.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what will happen. But you're messing with somebody's free will. Harm none and do what you will. They consider that harming somebody because they didn't want that to happen.
Forcing them.
You're forcing them.
Yeah.
So that is considered not good. I wouldn't say that's black magic. It's called gray magic, where there's like a line somewhere between there. But yeah, you just put out your intent and what you want, and it'll come back.
So I think a lot of people don't realize, but it's kind of like, I know about Wiccan. I'm not a Wiccan, but I believe in source and universal energy, and how it's all basically, I think what people don't realize is that it's really kind of the same, your belief and my belief. It's like, I say things over and over and try to change my mind and the way I think about things so that the energy that's out there attracts and brings those things to me that I want, whether it be money or love or a new car or whatever. Yeah, the law of attraction. And it sounds kind of like that Wiccan is kind of a little bit like that. Like you're just kind of like using the energy that's out there and to bring those things into you.
Yeah,
So.
we use the law of attraction. Yeah, that's a big part of it is, like I was telling you earlier, so we have, if you want something to happen, let's see, where is it? I have a crystal here. Okay, let's just use rose quartz.
So you have rose quartz. This has these are like our batteries. Like when you can charge them in many different ways, but when we hold on to this, you kind of feel like a little tingly feeling in your hand. Like this has energy. This was created rough, like from the earth. Yeah, so this has a ton of energy in it. And so from this has the intention of like love and relationships. And then you bring in the herbs. Roses represent love and relationships. And same thing with like incense and oils. It's love and relationship. And you just put it all into one. Like the spell candles I was showing you earlier, they have all the things and the right intentions to be set out there and then have it happen. There's so many things we do and people aren't Wiccan or they're even against like witches and stuff. And it's witchcraft, like blowing out candles on your birthday. You're casting a spell. You're making a wish. Your intention is in your head. You blow out a candle and that smoke carries out through the air and into the universe. You're casting a spell.
I never thought about that. Birthday candles and
Yes.
Wow. I wonder how many people would stop doing that now.
Same thing. The Christmas trees. We put those up like that was before Christianity. The wreaths, we put those on our doors to protect us against like dark spirits when the nights are long. Halloween or Samhain, we carve pumpkins and put outside the door to scare away the evil spirits. We dress up in costumes to trick the evil spirits.
So you brought up Halloween. Halloween is more, from what I understand, like going into paganism, or does that have anything to do with being Wiccan as well?
Well, everybody says it's a pagan holiday because, well, it is, but it's it's different to like different religions within paganism. It's a huge one for us. It's like our new year. It's the beginning of the new wheel of the year. So Samhain, we celebrate death, just like this, because we can't have life without death. We understand that. We also celebrate it for our ancestors and stuff. Think of Day of the Dead. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what we do. We just honor our past relatives and all of that. We'll do something called a dumb supper, where we'll make dinners and then set out an extra plate for them. Like, we know they're not going to eat it, but it's just a thought that counts. Or some people lay it outside their front door. Yeah. It's like an offering to the spirits that don't have a place to go.
Yeah.
And think of, the Day of the Dead, they do the same thing.